Oh my god! Oh, Logan, you still playing that TF2 game? But it's dead! The internet told me so! The only dead thing around here is the opposite color. We've met our match, picked our side, and did our waiting! Now, for something that actually took more than 2 minutes to load. With the awesome Meet Your Match update finally out, oh, did I just say that out loud? I present to you a decently up-to-date list on my picks for Manco's Least Wanted. The build-up's been tense for this one, so I'll flank the disclaimers where they stand. I'm not exactly playing the objective here, as it's a little more trouble than it's worth to stare down the technically shittiest weapons. In a collection this diverse and balanced, I don't think so. Rather, things are gonna be personal, highlighting those unlocks that you wouldn't catch me using or liking from either side of the coin. Might get messy, but you're bound to run into some nasty funk during Hale's own cavity search. I'm gonna need some gloves. As the only number 9 that proves itself mighty, does Spy really have a bad weapon? Do fish moo? Don't waste my time with stupid questions. Hell, there's not really any Spy item I hate fooling through. I mean, yeah, the Enforcer enforces Jack Diddley shit, and the red tape recorder doesn't get me making some noise, but he's Gaben's fave, so I shouldn't be surprised he has the most well-rounded arsenal. But if there's something Baron von Balaclava does idiotically well, is pissing the shit out of me with his annoyingly strong toys. Ever since Sniper vs. Spy, a confirmed kill was as big a lie as that scumbag cake. Let's play I Spy. I spy with my little eye something yellow, something evil, something annoying as fuck. Trade up for a name tag and call it Modern SpongeBob because I struggle to find a difference. Fun beta fact, the Dead Ringer was originally number 1 when I had my old order arranged 2 years back. Yes, the brain dead ringer used to rustle my jimmies so bad they became temmies. While those days are thankfully over, my blood is still enriched with enough sodium to contest seawater. The design of this watch is ingenious, allowing the French fry to fake his own death with the trade-off of no on-hand cloak. This changed Spy's meta forever, now allowing for an aggressive playstyle thanks to an escape mechanism not even Houdini's ghost could pull off. Setting this thing off rewards the bastard with 3 seconds of massive resistance, afterburn immunity, minimal cloak shimmer, oh yeah, and the speed of a scout. All this combined makes for a powerful hit-and-run insta-kill hybrid, and the most annoying item to combat by far. Sure, it's tricky to master and fucking roars upon decloaking, but that doesn't make it less of a pain to deal with. Is it OP? No, its modern stats make it harder to abuse, and milk sure doesn't make it big and strong, but this unholy trinket will always be that in which I hate to hate. Oh, motherfucker! Fight like a man, you snake! Ever since Gunmetal, I've gathered a lot more admiration for Heavy. I mean, he's always been my favorite Valve character, Putis Almighty never let that go unheard, but we've been holding that one note of Stockfitch Group, please let us do more for about 7 years. Let me breathe! Before the high-quality balance patches of late 2015, Heavy had probably the worst weapon lineup, period. Those days are mostly over, thankfully, and there are currently more viable selections for the Soviet Snorlax than ever before. There's no excuse anymore. Fix your shit, brass beast.
So much no!
I've noticed a pattern here. In TF2 Weapons Society, if you look cool, sound cool, you're probably not cool. Let's just say Mr. Beast ain't a social butterfly. Quick positive to note, it's the sexiest looking minigun, bar none. Like a cold, curvy Miss April. Woo! That's definitely a sandwich in your pocket, because nobody's happy to see them stats. God damn, bitch. Not even Brawl Sonic would joke about you. Let me ask a question to all those Hoovy players. What makes Heavy fun? Speaking for myself, I love being the proverbial clog in the enemy team's pipeline, taking pride in protecting my team and ripping babies to shreds. Context is for the dead. Every single minigun allows the big lovable bastard to do this. Except this one. The brass bitch distanced itself from that so much, it honest to God feels like all the hyperbole filed complaints about the class's speed were manufactured into physical form. 20% damage bonus? Yay! But does that really help when I'm imploded into the ground? I'm having so much fun! A brass beast heavy is often compared to a sentry. You know, huge DPS, cannot move, so it obviously pans well on defense, right? Well, yeah, but every other heavy primary will offer similar success, but with fewer risks and more versatility. Even on the defensive, Natasha is strictly better, save for when an Engie is babysitting you. Not to mention the Meet Your Match nerf gave me 7 types of Ebola. Yeah, I really missed those one-shots, guys! I guess it is decent, but that doesn't mean it's not fucking boring! Oh, sniper secondaries. Yuck. You really gonna make me touch these? Fuck me clockwise. This isn't just a mixed bag. It's a urine-stained sack filled with why do I bother? Reaching into this, you're always gonna find something gross. Be it the I wins donger shield, the shitty on anything but Highlander, piece of booty Razorback, and that is not my fetish, bitch. God, are there any guns in here? So, piss or shit? Is this life's greatest mystery? You know, I don't recall the cleaning lady being so lazy. As the only SMG unlock in the entire game, you'd hope the cleaner's carbine would be good. And hell, I'm not even sure. Tough Break brought changes to this gun that, well, I can't say aren't interesting, buffing the lousy firing speed by 15% and turned it into the first meter-based hit scan secondary. Okay.
Added cracky meter.
So it's a mini flog? Oh god. Well, that shreds it. So if you manage to deal 100 damage with the carbine, the token "lol, he's an Australian" joke fills up, and you basically have a loner's buff banner on standby. Alright, all things considered, this is probably a good weapon. 100 damage is the opposite of demanding, and pairing mini crits with the Kunstman and Bitchwacka, suddenly the sniper is bloody 12 feet tall. But minus the stupid ass Razorback, it really doesn't compare to the other options. With an ass fire rate and a spread as wide as Canada, filling this damn thing up is harder than walking the tightrope while doing the splits. Some crazy wizard may be able to make it work, but if you're a muggle piece of shit like me, good luck. Even when it is useful, it really doesn't feel all that fulfilling. Hey, I want mini crits. Oh gee, should I use the shit and never get to use 8 seconds of mini crits only I can use? Or fling the piss around for 10 seconds of mini crits that everybody can use? And here I thought I was supposed to be making the jokes. How much of a bastard does one need to be to disrespect someone in the medical field? More than me, that's for sure. Just like Spy, Medic's arsenal is impossible to reproach, and is expertly condensed. It's gotta mean something when you have the smallest loadout in the game and still remain the most influential. I have to be honest, I often feel like I have to force myself to shit on a medic weapon just for the sake of coming full circle. None of them are bad, at all. So like number 9, we're looking at my least favorite. The Overdose is finally interesting and will not be my target. No, I'm filing an informal fuck you to the Vitasaw. While I stand by the medic having no bad weapons thing, it's difficult to shy an eye towards your greatest possible threat. I fucking hate this thing. I find it surprising how much medic actually benefits from his melee weapons. Not only for passive effects, but a 65 damage smack to the rack is the most practical self-defense an optimal medic can have. So it's rather daunting to find that this nasty booster shot has both practical damage and the single most powerful passive bonus in the entire game. Killing an enemy medic is an achievement well worth dying for. The true team captain, and is the lifeblood of the whole meta. You kill him, you're instantly a hero. But you can't kill evil. When you die as a medic, you're always rightfully punished with a long-ass respawn and have to start from the ground up. With the Vitasaw, however, medics are rewarded for dying. No matter their condition prior to death, they will get a fifth of their Uber meter filled upon respawn. And what is the big trade-off? 10 less health. Yeah. One picture of your finest bleach, barkeep. Health penalties are often harsh, but this is so minuscule, it's barely even a downside. Makes me easier to kill? Whoopee! Less work! If you have a weapon that makes killing medic at the right time less rewarding, you may be diagnosed with bullshit! It's some new kind of screwed up to say you feel bad for a merciless flame demon that murders mortals by the thousands, but I really do. No matter what happens, I have to deal with the fact that the community will never be okay with my new second favorite class. What? I'm supposed to be ashamed? Right, and Heavy needs more nerfs. Pyro has grown on me tremendously over the last few years, and I'll stick up for him, even after Hell Tower freezes over. That being said, even a class as appealing and surprisingly intricate as Pyro has a least common denominator. The one nobody likes to talk about. Enter the Phlogistinator. Okay, no bullshit here. I kinda like this weapon. It's got an interesting concept, and actually manages to host some fun raves every now and then, but it pains me so much that I can't actually praise it alongside Pyro's other primaries. So what makes this Gordbort branded hose of incinerated happiness the single most despised armament in all of TF2? One word: crits. If the vast majority of the player base burst blood vessels over random crits, part of a fair and balanced breakfast, tasting Gordbort's guaranteed crit satisfaction mutates the salt into acid. Charge that bar for every scrap it owns, and watch with your newfound rape face as you unload all your built-up skill upon your now scared shitless prey. Oh god, that feels awesome! Okay, what's the downside? What? You can't air blast. That's fine. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I definitely don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it.
You suck!
I need it! Huh. Quick question. Is it wrong to call someone out on their bullshit, even when you love them? Trick question. The love's what weeds that out. That's not even a joke, guys. Stay open. So now I guess I feel a bit better saying, Scout, You've got a lot of shit lining your pockets. Be it the questionable modern-day shortstop, the stigma of taking a sip of crit Ebola, yo, shoutouts to Rapid, and the less I say about the shit on a stick, the better. So rather than pile drive the dead and decaying horse that is Solaris's nipple, I've got an even more boring substitute. Tell me, what the fuck happened to the pocket pistol? More importantly, why don't you guys ever talk about it? Because it's pointless. What was once a handy health extension in the same spirit as the gunslinger has since devolved into the worst secondary for his meat-shotting majesty. Even though its name remained the same, it's clear the fucks that make up Manco's assembly line filed a patent for a half-assed Blutsauger, but realized, whoops, that thing already exists. Fuck it, shipping it again! Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's literally a Blutsauger for Scout. Not only is it no longer unique, it's fucking awful. Forever plagued with its sloth grade fire rate, demoting the fall damage immunity to only while active, and hit the bitch hard, with 20% more damage taken from everything. Even ignoring the shitty DPS, having to eat more pain while holding a gun you would only be shooting if you're already hurt is stupider than playing tag with a rock. How the fuck is that supposed to help me? Much like the cleaner's carbine, I'm half tempted to pull a compliment out of my ass. But I can't praise a new tactic for a scout that doesn't supply a benefit or even fun. And just like the cleaner's carbine, it's curb stomped by another liquid of questionable substance, but top tier utility. The pocket pistol is a waste of time. It may be something new to look at, but it certainly is not pretty. Of all the loadouts in the game, the Engineer's S-tier shit stain was the hardest to pin down, mainly because it's yet another top-notch toolset. The Duke of Dust Bowl's own booster pack of wildcards make for one of the most complete packages I've ever seen in an FPS gunman. Whatever weapon he has with him serves a bountiful, or at the very least, interesting use to whatever he's tasked with, making him exceptionally dangerous and versatile. What can I say? Valve takes superb care of the man. Eventually, prior to the recent buff, I would have set the old Eureka effect here for sure. But now that it's been properly amended in a unique way, I can finally have at the motherfucking short circuit. Let it be known that I don't fully object to weapons made for the sole purpose of countering sworn enemies. I like the Spicicle, Bonk is a well-justified addition, and the Gunmetal Natasha was a godsend. Before becoming a god, take the fuck away! Point is, I don't see Engineer's answers to Ubers and projectiles as unwelcome. Explosives are a huge detriment to static buildings, so allow the power of electricity to zap those suckers out of existence at the cost of metal. Soldiers and demos get 12 strokes an hour just thinking about it, and you know, it does them good to know what that's like. For me at least, this second-rate secondary poses as the Dead Ringer's polar opposite. I don't get frustrated whenever I'm up against it per se, but I absolutely despise using this thing. First off, I feel it suits a very uninteresting playstyle, sacrificing your bottomless pistol, resulting in limited firepower outside of your primary or sentry. But since you need to park your ass so close to the sentry as a means to nuke any spam coming your way, it's not optimal to venture even a tippy toe out of the gun's range, which is both boring and often counteractive, being that our targets are explosives. When you think about it, it's really not all that different from turtling. On its own, a boring gimmick, even though I don't deny that it works. And when held up beside the Rescue Ranger and Wrangler, a situational bore. I'll emphasize it until overtime. This thing is boring. If there was a runner-up for loosey-goosey bouncing shenanigans, Demo is silver to NG's gold. The TF team has always had trouble keeping their Loch Ness monster contained, as evidenced by the disgusting lapses of the old lock and load, sticky launcher, tide turner, and oh god, the caber. Despite the community's own luck of the Tavish, it eventually started backpedaling in the opposite direction. Nowadays, Demo seems to receive more nerfs than everybody else, and I don't see the crowd taking them too lightly. Hey, you like Demo Night? Yeah? Well, tough break. The journey of a Demo Knight is rough and void of respect. It's been hammered into the ground for a while now, for some reason, and our punishment for having a wee bit of unorthodox fun? Getting both our legs chopped off. I could have made do with getting the Tide Turner nerf to shit, but taking the sword nobody can pronounce and turning it into the sword nobody can use is where I stopped tolerating. The Claydol Whore was once the Demo Knight's Excalibur, supplying an extended duration to all of the shield's charges. It helped with pivotal escapes, enemy pursuits, and was an all-around fantastic utility for the gimmicky subclass. So why did they repeat the same song and dance they performed in front of the ugly bitch's pocket lint at what is essentially this poor sword's funeral? The Claydol Whore now prides itself as some kind of cheap hybrid of Demo's other, better swords. Not to mention it mimics the booties and Tide Turner's charge replenish stat. So, instead of being known and loved as who you are, you turn to shameless imitation for the sake of less effort? I didn't equip 80% of YouTube's content. I equipped an amazing sword. Why would you just give up on us like that? God damn it! Oh yeah, and fuck your fucking damage vulnerability. It hurts enough already. While I don't get too much out of his character, Soldier remains a consistently fun class to play. There's a lot of joy out of twirling around a bomb-flavored pixie stick and watching bitches die. Turning the opposite color into Michael Bay movie extras is all I really need to justify my 130 plus hours with the class. Big shock, I like killing people as Soldier. Thus, the rocket jumper means absolutely nothing to me. Oh, I'm not going to be making friends today, am I? I'm not going to say, hold on, don't kill me. That's the entire point of being a psychotic patriot. But equipping the rocket jumper tells me you're not after kills nor a point. Okay, I shouldn't act like I'm exposing a legendary war hero as a sham. Wow, this thing sucks! Even the majority of Day 1 Gibbuses are aware that the rocket jumper is a dud weapon. It's the harmless bystander that nobody likes to pick on. But it's called a weapon. It takes up space, and I don't agree on giving it a pass it doesn't deserve. It's been made clear that I don't care all that much about rocket jumping as a soldier. I mean, I learned the basics, but that's really all I have the need for. With enough breathing room, Soldier has the best mobility in the game. Every other rocket launcher offers this on top of supplying firepower. This thing does no damage at all. It does nothing, which means you can blast jump without the annoyance of blast damage getting in your way. But it also means you don't have a primary weapon. Is it truly worth completely giving up your primary damage output for damageless mobility so situational it's classified as a gimmick? I understand. Anybody that wants to take Solly seriously has to learn advanced rocket jumping. But your priority will always be DPS either way. So unless you're the goofball who thinks it's funny to make this your hot date for a day at the Sixes, you only use the rocket jumper as training wheels. Either that, or you're just having some fun. And I'll respect that. But why am I taking a weapon nobody actually takes seriously myself? Because I don't like it. The rocket jumper holds absolutely no value to me, and what it does offer is nothing I can't do by other, more effective means. Oh, but you can use a shotgun. You lose. You don't always have to play the objective, but this time, color me tryhard. This has been Fawful's Minion. Thanks for the attention. Remember to keep calm and have fury. Farewell!